Good afternoon, YouTube, and thank you for joining me again for another Card Market Watch. So, hope you guys watched the episode on Monday, and as you may have noticed that I did hit a few marks that did get sort of bought out, mostly over towards eBay, but definitely some that did get bought out over on Card Market, such as Ghost Mourner and Access Code Talker. As I said, all it's going to take is like literally one thing to happen, and those cards are just going to go off market and go jump in price. Look at the Fox. Fox did the same thing when that guy started using it to counter Adamant Spiders. So yeah, take my advice. It's free. Card Market's easy to read. And welcome back. So, in Monday's Market Watch talk, I did discuss Access Code Talker as well as Ghost Mourner. And I had said at the time, which is to me was at the time, because technically that episode came out before, well, I'd recorded that episode before the finals for the Invitational or whichever event Ryan Hugh had won on the Sunday. So I recorded that at midnight on Sunday British time, no, on the Monday British time, to go out later in the day. So I essentially recorded that video around about the time they started that tournament. By the time my video came up on Monday morning, the tournament had ended. And we had found out that Sky Strikers is now the best deck in the format. Who could have seen it coming? Well, Ryan Hughes is a really good player. And a lot of people have said if you look at how his hands essentially got drawn throughout the series, he got super lucky that he didn't brick constantly. Because as you may have seen, there was a few other YouTubers who went like, let's see how we can play Sky Strikers in the day format. And their videos just show basically like 15 card games where every single card game their hand bricked. So Ryan Hugh, not only one of the best Yu-Gi-Oh players in the world, apparently also has control over machinery. Don't trust that man. But no, seriously. So Access Code Talker was looking to go down in price, as you can see here from our beautiful graph. Ooh, yes. It's now starting to go back up again. So at the time, I was expecting it to come lower and lower because it hadn't been seen anything. It wasn't in any Emancipator decks. It wasn't in any Eldritch decks at the time. Eldritch has started using Selene, and they started using this in their combos. Now, it's on buyout. There's still copies available for a relatively reasonable price on Card Market. A lot of Germans, and then you get to English. English 2 here, €45. Compared to what your eBay currently is, their prices are around about £95, £65 for the cheapest, and then it goes up to 70, 75, 80, 89, 90, 95. Yeah, buyout has gone on eBay. These are your best options, and I mean, this is more than I was willing to sort of say buy at, but now it's doing things. It's now become a card worth value. Obviously, in a couple of weeks, we will be getting Eternity Code out in America, which means that some prices will start to dip because of the inflation of the American market pulling at our market so much. But yeah, we'll be there soon. Also, Americans, because something hasn't come out in your region, doesn't mean it hasn't come out in the TCG. You guys need to sort of relax about this whole. It's not out yet. It doesn't exist. We don't. You have it. It's in Europe. The fact that you keep buying the market out in Europe shows how much it's out now. Your pre-sale prices don't necessarily exist essentially because people are trying to inflate their own market because they realise that everyone who's got the cards they wanted paid day one prices and probably made out like a bandit in America. Now, nonetheless, Ghost Mourner. I did say at the time, this card will be seeing no play, and that no one will be wanting this card because it doesn't do anything. Well, screw me. It does stuff in Sky Strikers. Now, prices haven't really changed since the last video. As you can see, things are still here. It still look 24-ish. I think the cheapest English before was like maybe 21, 22. So the buyout status hasn't really happened here. They are playing currently two of in the Adamant Sky Striker deck. So yeah, it's not like you need like a full play set of this to be able to do things. They are essentially just a hand trap deck. So you're looking at your basics, your free effect veilers. You want your free DD Crow as supports in your extra deck, in your side deck. You want your 2 ghosts, and then you have your 3 Ash Blossoms. So yeah, no ogres in this format. But yeah, that's what we're currently looking at. So it's not a bad thing. Again, everyone's always known that Scotch Rockers is basically a hand trap set. So you only play 5 monsters from your actual archetype. Well, the 2 of, and you play 3 and of 2. Thunder Dragon Colossus. Can he come off the ban list? Now, I think putting him up limited to 1 is fine. He's not overbroke. He's not power. He's not super duper powerful to be on the extremes. He's not like this degenerately exploding thing. You know, we had a couple of formats with him in where he was like, you know, top 16 compatible, but I don't think they ever won a single tournament. I mean, obviously now that he's gone out and we did get the new Thunder Dragon support, is it Thunderlord Dragon? Looking around, can't remember up on my deck. So we did have a new boss monster, but yeah, I think he can come back to 1. He's not super duper destroyable. This is the super rare version. Prices are good. The value is good. This is obviously medium value now. As I said, Ultimate Rare reprinting, since they're penny stocks. I'm not saying go out and buy 100 of them for like 40p each and then try and make out like a bandit afterwards. If he comes off the ban list, yes, the prices will inflate a little bit. You might be looking like maybe like £10 for one of these, maybe £2 or £3 on an Ultra. Sky Striker Ace Rose. 2 weeks ago, card companies who were stuck with this card, such as Total Cards, such as Chaos, such as Magic, they dropped their prices of this card because no one was playing Sky Strikers. They didn't want it in their inventory. It went from being a £250 card down to a £120, £140 card, and they couldn't get rid of it. Well, now it's a £300 card, so, or €300. What that happened to? Ah, yeah, ding. But your cheapest you pay now is 300, and it's got a ding. You know, then your excellent conditions, you're looking at 480, 5, 680. I think we went over this the other day as well before Ryan Hugh did any of his amazing plays of card gamery. But yeah, as you can see, prices have decided to just shoot out of people's hands. I'm surprised it doesn't say just €1,000,000 because people are desperate to be that number 1 spot there. Remember, it is a main deck monster. In online Yu-Gi-Oh! It doesn't matter because no one's cutting your cards, but in real life you're going to have that guy spitting and sweating all over your cards. They might be sleeved up, but when he's just chop, 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 throws your cards down, passes you back to you, well, do you really want a £600-700 card in your deck that's just been smashed to the ground? That's what's just bent when they're shuffling. Do you? Well, I don't. Extra deck monsters? Yeah, sure, great. Starlight them, because no one's touching those cards besides you. Max rarity deck? Well, yeah, you do you, baby. But it's not going to be worth anything when someone's got their hands out and just like to bend your cards for you. Also, I don't know if you've heard about this, the new Starlight foiling is apparently heavier than any other card design. So when you're cutting the deck, apparently Starlights actually fall a bit heavier, so people can actually shuffle to find where they are. Now, how degenerate that is up to Konami to decide, but Konami have also told people that they would be disqualified if they would have Starlight Rares that may have slightly curved or may have slightly way more, or they may have a sort of weird thickness to them. And it's like, Konami, you're making these cards. This is your product. You can't turn around to your player base and go, oh, I mean, you paid extra for these cards. We don't know the value of secondary markets because we're not allowed to, which is true, they're not allowed to. I mean, they look at them. That's how they know what to reprint. But, yeah, you can't just go around and go like, oh, we didn't know. Oh, we can't play that really expensive £500 card there because it just bends a lot. Well, that's your issue. You go, okay, we know these bend. We'll take X amount of selection from the new print press that doesn't bend, and we'll trade them. We go, okay, here you go. So we know all the Starlight Rares from the first run of our Ignition Assault first editions, which they all would be, bend like crazy. They're all Pringle. What we will do is we will trade you one of these brand new fresh ones that we've just done that don't bend so much or don't bend at all, and we will trade them to you. That way you don't get disqualified for having a bent card. Now, you can say, why would they do that? That's losing money. Well, I'm pretty sure if you went to any company and you had, like, say, a broken TV, and you went, oh, my TV's broken because you missed putting a screw in, or a certain issue had happened, they would then go and refund you the TV price, or they'd then go give you a new TV. Now, secondary market prices are secondary market prices. They can't control them. They can look at them and they can review how it's going, but they can't price them themselves. But what they can do is then go, okay, well, you know, this card, this card, this card, and this card from this set is pringling or damaging, or the foiling comes off, or it's too heavy, we need to lighten the card. We can announce this and say, when you come to tournaments, we will then exchange them for the newer cards that are, you know, correct spec. And that way no one gets banned. No one gets disqualified. Now, is that Konami's fault? No. Is it the judge's fault? Sometimes. Because this is what I've heard. I've heard a lot of judges will go, that's a thingy card, you can't play that in your deck anymore, you need to go find a non-Starlight version of this card because otherwise we can't play it. It's like, well, I went and paid like £1,500 for like a play set, and I'm like, I can't play them now because you said that they, you know, I can't go up to some random stranger and go, oh, excuse me mate, can I just borrow your cards for 2 hours, 4 hours? I'm going to win some games. Kakari. She's back, baby. So, prices are up a little bit, as you can see. She was going down, she had been down, she went down. But nope, she's back on the up and up. As of yesterday. So, I'm going to announce this now. I did do a quick Sky Striker video that came out yesterday for you guys. For me, I recorded it on Monday. Prices were different. Prices hadn't gone crazy yet. I don't think people had woken up and found out about the news. But yeah, so prices are still what you'd expect. I think this is the price in her heyday when she was more expensive a card. But yeah, this is what you're looking at. There's none on sale at all on eBay from what I can see. At least not for a realistic price. Shizuku, hello. So, again, all the cheap ones have now been brought off eBay. They were going for like £18 the other day. Yeah, they've all gone. I think the cheapest store on eBay now is like £50-60. So, yep, if you can get them where you can, do it. 35 for your nearest English. Rest of you guys, enjoy your Italian for 25. Hayate. Again, on eBay, she was ridiculously cheap. She was like £18. Again, I can't see any on there. I think less than 40 now. But yeah, still 22 for your excellent condition English Ultimate Rare. Now this is the thing, like Sky Strikers is the perfect deck to like max out your rarity in your extra deck, because there's 4 extra deck monsters that are now Ultimate Rares. The only one you have that you don't use is Zeke. Zeke is obviously stuck at a ultra rare. Same with if you play the current settings like Celine and Mr. Needle Fiber. Obviously the rarest X-Kotor is going to be a Senor X-Kotor in Secret Rare. But yeah, so like if you like Sky Strikers and you don't have them and they're still this price when you go to buy them, like seriously consider it. Like, you know, they look super good. And then Kuna. Again, she was super cheap. You only play one of them in the next deck as she's been limited. English is €17, so looking like £15 plus shipping. I mean, if you want to play an Italian version, get it for probably like 12 with shipping. Go for it. Again, all of them are wonderfully beautiful cards. I personally think that Ultimate Rare is the best rarity. That's my opinion. I'm not a massive fan of Starlight Rares, even though we pulled one on the channel. I just think that out of all the rarities, it goes like Ultimate, probably Starlight, and then like Ghost. Well, that's my opinion. I like Ghost. I like that lack of visibility. But if you try and look at a card, all you can see is the mirror effect. It's not that's so great. But that's where we'll end today. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It helps me out tremendously. Again, goodbye.